What was that?
That wasn't us, I don't think.
Okay. I don't know where that came from, but
Yeah.
we are recording now.
Yeah, it sounded like a female.
Yeah. So it didn't show up on anything of mine. So, but as I was mentioning, so as we kind of go through some of the movements and postures today, just really kind of just focus on your breath. Remember, the whole idea is don't be tense. Okay. Kind of listen to your mind and to your body about if you have mental tension, which can be anywhere from overthinking what you're doing. Am I doing this correctly? Just move, just feel, just kind of mimic us as well. It'll build. But especially today, those deep diaphragmatic breathings, and it helps build that diaphragmatic muscle as well, so that you'll continue to have benefits throughout the day. The more that you engage in deep breathing, the more that it calms you. It calms your mind. It causes your mind to focus, and it gives you that space between stimulus and response just as you breathe. At times I'll go through my day and I'll notice when all of a sudden I just continuously, I have these nice deep breaths. I'll do it in the car while I'm driving, and I'll notice at times when I'm not. If you start to get a little more anxious, your breathing changes from belly breathing into more chest and top of chest breathing. So if you feel that, take a nice deep breath again, just calm your body and move on. It'll do wonders for you throughout the day. So, well, it's 5 after, so I think we're gonna move forward. I know Charles is gonna join us a little bit later. I guess once the sun gets off. So, any questions before we get started?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Cool. If we do hear feedback, then of course we need to mute the mics. But otherwise, if you have a question with something, feel free to chime in. If like I said, it's this ready? All right. So initially, just kind of stand. Whenever you start a practice, you can either stand shoulder width apart. I like one hand over lower dantian. The other one comes in right on top. You can also just stand in this position here. The idea is I'm just going to let my bones settle, okay? If you are standing in this position, I like kind of keeping my thumb and little finger kind of just pressed a little bit, more concave. The idea is no tension. And I feel, there's space between my arms. Everything's just kind of hanging. That's nice and loose. My tailbone is tapped in just a little bit. I'm not pushing my chest out. I'm not pushing my butt out. I'm just kind of letting my bones settle. And when I do the nice deep breath, my chin is tucked in just a little bit, and you can experiment with that. And we're going to play with this a little bit during this session. But notice, like say, if you're sitting in meditation, if you don't tuck your chin in, sometimes it feels like there's a little bit of an obstruction in the airway just as you're breathing. So I pay attention to those things, and you can make adjustments in your posture as need be. But you want to just, at this point, just stand, feel, let go of everything in the day, everything that you think you need to get done today, whatever you didn't do or did do yesterday or tomorrow, let all that go. Breathe in through your nose. Deep breathing. Exhale. Now with each exhale, just do a little scan. Say your head, face, Relax muscles. Deep breath. Relax your neck and shoulders. Relax your pecs, trapezius muscles. Relax your lats, intercostals, abdomen. Feel your body in time and space. Just feel it. Just be there, present with it. Relax your hips and quads, hamstrings. Calves and ankles. Now, as we begin, just shoulder width apart. One hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. And we're still the same kind of breathing. We're just going to breathe in. I want you to feel that your belly's pushing out. Raise your chin, in this case, a little bit. Breathe all the way into your chest. This is kind of an anchor, remind you, fill that chest up. Push your diaphragm down. Imagine you're filling your air throughout your torso, down to the small of your back. That's the feeling that you're looking to go. And then as you exhale from the top of your lungs. Diaphragm, pull the belly in, squeezing out all the air out of your lungs. And repeat. Exhale. Your tailbone's tucked in just a little bit. Inhale, you should feel. You see the hand move out. I feel the chest. I raise a little bit, always through my nose, as if I'm topping off my lungs as far as I can feel them. I want to feel my lungs, the lower lungs, the lobes of the lungs. Also, if I can open those up, feel air in there. And release. On the exhale, I bring my abdomen in, I pull, squeezing all the air out. One more time. Feel your lungs, feel the air filling your lungs in the calm and peace as you exhale. Bring your hands to your side. Now with this, my arms will be out of frame, but your tailbone's tucked in a little bit. Kind of as you bring up, kind of roll your spine, nice and relaxed. You do this, inhale. Press up. Exhale. Inhale. And the same thing we just did, that breathing. I'll lift my chin a little bit, filling all the air up to my lungs. Hold for a second or two. And release. I like feeling that the energy in the palms of my hand and my body are resonating together as my hands scan through my body, energizing, activating, cleansing. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out through the nose. I can hold it, the breath at the bottom. Breathe in. Now, just a little bit of, I'll come down in frame where you can see. When I'm coming up with my hands and they're here, don't put a lot of tension in them, but have your palms, your elbows are going to be flared out a bit, and your palms are going to be facing the ceiling. So you should also feel this stretch through the tendons, not muscles so much, it's just using your tendons. So you want that as I press, okay? So 2 more times. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, scan up, release energy out, bring energy in. Now, typically, now, this is kind of go, we'll move forward. It's going to comment I'll make it while we're doing this. Now we're going to split heaven and earth. So one hand goes up, one presses down, and push a little bit out on the side so you're stretching like your rib cage and those lines of fascia. Just push a little bit. I can turn if I want. But this is an inhale coming down. Exhale, inhale coming up. So I get this stretch. Exhale. It's one of the few where we're going to inhale on the outward movement. Inhale. Stretch, lean a little bit. Exhale. I bend my knees a little bit so that as I'm pushing up, it's like I'm taking that energy from out of the earth and coming up. One more time. Exhale. Inhale. Bring this back. Now listen to your shoulders. If you're having any shoulder issues, you do it only to your level of comfort. This is not pushing through anything. This is allowing natural healing in the body as well. One more. Then as I come down, feet are still shoulder width apart. I want hand to come back. It's going to push. This hand is going to exchange. My feet are still forward, so I'm coming across this way. And then look back behind you. You'll get an extra twist in your spine and in your neck. So as you're doing that, so exhale. As I inhale, this will scoop down. This comes by the face. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and I still like having, like I said, the conclave in my palms. You're accenting and activating this acupressure point right in the center of your palms. It's like you're swimming, but moving side to side, looking over your shoulder. If you have tension in your back or your neck and it hurts, don't go looking that far, just go where comfortable. It will improve over time. One more time. Come back to center, walk your feet out a little bit. So you're going to be in horse. Now we're going to keep with the same movement, but now I'm going to be a little bit more in a horse stance. When I'm doing this, because you guys have done this before, imagine I'm sinking my energy into the ground and I'm pulling energy from the earth through my body so that I'm learning and feeling that root. So as I'm Inhale, same movement we did. Exhale. Inhale, pulling energy up, sending energy out. Right here, start to exhale. Inhale, nice and slow. Exhale, look behind. 2 more times. Come back to center. Now, knocking on the door of life. We've done this standing up, so I'm also going to have weight shifts. So one hand is knocking on my lumbar region. In Chinese thought is Ming Men, door of life. The other hand is just kind of hitting across my abdomen. It's my shoulders and hips that are making that turn. So you see the hands just glide through the air. As my shoulders and hips turn, I'm relaxed enough that it causes my arms just to move naturally. Because I'm in this horse stance, I'm shifting my weight at the same time. If you want to come and hit the long one up here, do that. But there's no tension. Release tension. If you sense tension in your shoulders, let it go. Relax everything. All right. Now, just let your fingers glide through the air as if you're swirling energy. You're swirling clouds. Nice and relaxed. Slow it down. Come back to center. Walk in. With this, now I want you to take your hands, and because it's you guys in here, you can be, if you have shoulders, tight shoulders, you're going to put your palms together. You can hook your thumbs, that's fine. The idea is I'm either down on my tailbone, the farther up you can move your arms, great. I'm doing my men's in for shoulder issues, but what I want you to do is gather those, point your fingers down. As you breathe in, stretch your neck. Feel like when I go this, and in my case, my right ear is going towards my right shoulder, and I'm kind of pressing down on my left to kind of get that stretch. You don't have to go far back. Just let it pivot naturally. Neck circles. Remember to breathe. While you're doing this, feel in the inward breath. Is it harder to do deep diaphragmatic breathing? How does it change? When I started doing this, I found that I couldn't seem to breathe as deeply without changing my intent and really stretching my diaphragm. And the diaphragm is a muscle. Go the other way. All right, shake it out. Now, hands come up. We've done the men's in, tea kettle. This is going to be both hands working together. So the fingers point in towards you and then away. Always trying as best as you can to stay relaxed, not just in your wrist, but your elbows, your shoulders, but while also trying to keep your palms facing the ceiling at all times. You'll find the more I put my body into it through my hips and knees, I also get a greater rotation. Everything's nice and relaxed. It is one of those things that if you don't get it right away, just don't stress about it. It will come. And if you do get it, great. Just feel. Breathe in. Breathe out. Go the other way. Don't rush it. One more time. Very good. Now, hands on hips. Your thumbs are going to be as close to your spine as you can, either on either side, but you're also pressing right below the kidneys and in that area. And so you kind of see where my thumbs are. Now, as I roll out, let me breathe in. I want to push from my hips off to the side, to the front. I'm going to push in with my thumbs. Deep breath in, exhale, deep breath. Reverse. Just change direction. So if you can do big circles, great. If you have issues with back, just make them where you're comfortable. All right. Now I just want you to bounce. Sense any tension. Let it go. Remember to breathe. If you breathe in, always breathe in through your nose on the inhale. If you are wanting to strengthen internally, then you exhale through your nose. If you're wanting to clear energy out of your body, you're going to breathe through your mouth. So if I'm bouncing and I'm breathing in, I want to clear energy out. I just release it. Let your shoulders hang. Feel the joints in your elbows kind of lengthen, loosen. Same with your wrist. All right. Come back to center. Feet are shoulder width apart. I want you to raise your hands up to the side. Connect your forefinger, your index finger, and your thumb together. And breathe in, expanding your chest. As I bring my arms in around my chest a little bit. As I exhale, clear energy. This is working lung and lung meridians and towards the thumb. So as I pull this in, now, if you have shoulder issues, once again, you can change this so it's not up here. It might feel easier down here. If you don't have shoulder issues, don't worry about it. But this is exhale. So inhale, exhale, inhale, turn, connect, bring them together. Now, because it's YouTube and we've talked about the sounds and colors, if you want to add in here, we're in lung, which is metal. So the sound with is going to be s. Breathe in. S. Color is white. You gotta imagine my lungs and the systems of my lung, bright white light. But really on this, I really just want us to kind of focus on matching breath and feeling. And notice everything gets relaxed. One more time. As you bring it together, I want you just to keep your thumb and forefinger together as if you're holding a ball in front of you. Knees slightly bent, tailbone slightly tucked in. Once again, deep breaths. Just feel the energy in your body. Feel it from your body from the inside to the outside. Often when we're doing in the standing, there's a lot of things you can do with your mind, and I'll do some separate classes and videos with this. But you know, when we end our classes and we're in meditation and Seizo, I go deep diaphragmatic breathing in. Imagine energy coming into your body down this front channel, and as you exhale, send an energy back up your spine or a channel around your spine up over the top, and put the roof by your tongue at the roof of your mouth, just behind your teeth. As I breathe through my nose, exhale, I also lead energy up. I'm not pushing, I'm leading energy up. Breathe in. Listen to your body on this. Every once in a while, there have been times I've gone through periods where all of a sudden it's just I couldn't seem to get enough air. I don't mean that in a bad way. It just means that I wanted to keep breathing until I knew my lungs were expanded and full and I could feel the energy through my body. Honor that, but don't get attached to that feeling. Don't get absorbed into that thought. You're still feeling, and if you feel prompted to take a deeper breath, then do so. Always connected in this moment. And should I feel tension, I can put my awareness on it. I can just let it go. With consistent practice, you'll find your body will just let go on its own as well. All right. Bring it down. Now, in this case, whereas the other 5-element flow in the organ flow, we started with the liver and the wood. This time we started with lungs, which was metal. So after metal will come water. And so with water, one hand goes once again along the kidneys, big men, and the other hand just going to come across here. Now you're going to bend at the waist. So I'm going to inhale as if I'm scooping up energy, and I'm just bending at the waist. My knees are not bent. So just go as low as you feel comfortable. Inhale. Now I like reaching out, but don't stress with this, and don't make it hard. Just imagine I'm extending gently through my shoulders, my elbow, my wrist. And as I turn, then imagine I've got this energy coming down that I just picked up, from my arm into my kidneys. This is the exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Be nice and relaxed. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Deep belly breathing. Gently extend. Turn over. As I move from my feet, my hips, my shoulder, elbow, relaxed. One more time. Now, just rotate at the elbow. Same breathing. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in and out. Thumb and little finger are slightly pressed out. So activate that center of my palm. My body is energy. All of my body is nothing but energy. Every organ has its own electromagnetic field. One more time. In, out. Now, keep your hand back here on lumbar. Take two fingers as if sword. Put it right down below your navel. And just stand right now. Put your attention and your breath into your lower dantian. So about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, kind of where your fingers are lined up. Center of your body. I can imagine I've got energy. You have the chakra right in here, your sacral chakra. So you can also imagine I've got energy pulsing in and out through this area of my body and growing. Energy and consciousness, of course, is it a particle? Is it a wave? The answer is yes. So your energy, I can either visualize as pulsing waves, moving, or something more centered, and both are correct. Switch the other hand. In this case, my left hand goes behind. Right hand is now scooping for me. So bend at the waist. Scoop. Exhale. Inhale. Come down as far. Just imagine you're scooping energy through the earth. Taking that, letting it run down my forearm into my kidneys. That's one visualization you can do. I tend to be more centered in that my body is electric. So I breathe in and I send energy out. Two more times. Now, rotate just at the elbow. Exhale. I'm scooping, turning. For me, when I'm on and I'm doing from the elbow, I have this turn. Once again, my palm. Then it turns again, it expresses. The palm shape is concave, doesn't change. So that I feel a rotation in my shoulders as well. And I want to be loose. Have this, you want to feel this kinetic chain as your body moves. And let's see who's. Oh, I thought somebody was coming in. Now come in, same thing as we did before. 2 fingers in front of your abdomen. Now we'll move to the next flow. So ideally, after each of these that we're working with between the elements and the organs, you have a moment of standing meditation afterwards where you're feeling. I said, well, good. We'll fill that up more, but the idea is be present in the moment. So we went from lungs, metal, kidneys, water. Now from that, it would go into wood, which is the liver. So with this, I'm going to turn, I'm going to come up, left. In this case, I'm using my right hand extended. My left hand comes down, passes energy, rolls out, exhale, inhale nice and deep, deep diaphragm, feel that stretch. This is doing liver. What element? The palms come down across each other. Twist out. Exhale. Inhale as the palms twist up. Exhale as this comes across. Continue on. Let's see, is that Charles? Nope.
It's me, Renshi.
Okay.
I had a question. Your
Yes, sir.
footwork, your body movement, your lower body movement, and your legs, and your feet. Can you go over that position and posture?
Yes. So my feet, honestly, I'm just shoulder width apart, and my feet are forward. So as I'm coming in, they stay forward, so my feet don't move. All right. So that way I'm getting a twist that helps my spine, psoas muscles. And I'm twisting up. I will pump a little bit, so I sink, extend. So now I'm back standing straight again. As I come down, I sink a little bit. So this is just designed to be very easy flow. The twist that you feel, you'll feel it. What's nice with this, I will feel it within my shoulders, trapezius muscles, and it helps to unlock. One of the times, and this is kind of for you, Miguel, one of the ways I found to really get in deep to that right scapula that seems to really just kind of tighten up is I will have shoulders down, elbows out. I've got, once again, that conclave in my hand, but I'm turning my pinky up and really focusing in to stretching the tendons out and the muscles out. But I will feel it connect into my traps and under that scapula. And that for me has been a really good way to kind of get in there when I didn't have massages or anything like that. So that's just a side note. We want to have, I can continue to look forward, which will help also with this stretch along the neck. Two more times. 1, 2. Now come down. The hands will be up and standing on like a tree meditation, Zhang. So my thumbs are tucked in. Once again, my pinky is kind of turned, so my wrist pointing towards me about 30 degrees. My knees are slightly bent. They're not locked. My tailbone is slightly tucked in. Elbows kind of flared out. If you feel them sink too much, kind of just raise them up. Once again, unless you have shoulder issues, then find where you're comfortable. Deep breathing. Your tongue is at the roof of your mouth, just behind your teeth. Feel your body as you fill it with your lungs with air. Now shift the weight onto your right leg. Your left hand's going to move out a little bit. So I was here. I'm going to shift, and then my right finger is going to point to my palm. My left hand, the palm is moved out a little bit. Put your attention both on your breath, but also on the palm of your left hand. Just gently put your focus and your mind, your intent there, and just let it rest. No expectations. But if you have any sensations, just feel them. You can acknowledge them, be aware of them. Don't become attached to them. If you start to analyze it, now you're no longer in present moment. For our purposes here. Come back to center. Shift to your left. Right hand extends out. This will also build strength in your legs and your hips. You'll notice it's similar in where the legs, when I do the Qigong, standing in Santi posture. Come back to center. All right, so now we were in wood, so we go to fire. This will be a little bit different than we have been doing, like the rest of our flows. Now I'm going to, my left hand will come up, and notice that it turns. It's going to move out, and my right hand is going to push. Now my left is going to curve inward. My right is going to have my palm facing my elbow just a little bit. Left hand now is going to push, right hand. It doesn't have to be real exact at this point. I want you to get the feel of it. Inhale, and then this is exhale. Inhale, exhale. My feet are still put forward. My shoulders and hips turn. My feet are the same. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. And even if I slow it down here for the inhale, get a good deep diaphragmatic breath. Then let it push out. The whole idea is you're moving. And once you get the posture, the movement down, don't try and make it perfect. Don't overanalyze and overthink the movement. As long as conceptually you know what you're looking for, practice will make this more ingrained. I always tend to pump my legs a little bit. So sink, extend. For me, it's gather energy, express. Gather, express. One more time. Come to center. Drop your shoulders. Extend your elbows. You'll have like a diamond in front of your, and you're just going to hold this. And I want you to imagine breathing in. There's two things to imagine. One, you're just taking in. This is for heart chakra, and it's also for the heart in terms of organ. And I'm just kind of breathing and imagine I've got energy that's just filling this heart chakra up. If I'm doing my color meditation, it's red. Sound is hot. But I was going to stand. Now, there's something that's called also either 5 gates breathing, or I've seen different names for it, and even whole body breathing. But when I want you to breathe in, imagine that I'm breathing in through the points in my palms and in the points at the sole of my feet. And I'm breathing in, sending it all into lower dantian. As I express out, same way, I'm sending energy through my legs, feet, rooting into the earth, and with all the energy underneath me, and out through my hands as well, coming up my spine, across my shoulders, coming out my palms, in, into the dantian, out through palms and feet. The 5th gate would be, I'm standing as if my crown of my head is pointing to the heavens. So I'm kind of elongating my spine, letting that channel be as free as possible. All right, bring it down. So you can spend as much time in each of those postures as you feel is warranted when you're on your own practice. And then you go be guided by your own intuition and sense of what you feel. There are certain times I will spend longer time in some of these postures or some of the movements. Other times, a normal time. And I find there's always a benefit. So now we're going to look at spleen and stomach. And this will be the last of the 5 organs, 5 elements we're working with on this. So spleen and stomach are still very much the same. It's an earth element. So I'm going to clear out. I'm going to gather, breathe in. As I breathe in, this time we're going to take my other hand, breathe out. Clear, in, out. Breathe in through your nose. Other hand, breathe out through your mouth. In, out. In, out. In, if you feel like you want to hold it until you get a full breath in, you can even pause, allow your energy to sink and circulate, and also more oxygenation into your system, building up carbon dioxide, then releasing that. It's all good for you on lots of levels. Breathe out, breathe in, out. Two more times. 1, then just point your fingers down. Feel your body. Feel your nerves, your nerve endings. Just listen to your body. Feel it. Feel the energy in your arms, your shoulders, legs. All right, then the last one, we're going to sink, roll up, and this is getting whole body flow. Some up, turn, as I breathe in, as I breathe out, scan the body, crown of the head, forehead, throat, heart, solar plex, lower dantian, perineum. Inhale, turn the other way, turn, crown, forehead, throat, heart, solar plex, dantian, perineum. Rinse and repeat. Anytime that you feel that you have started drifting your thoughts, or that you start analyzing your movements, or you'll know when you no longer are present. Don't stress. Just let it go and come back to just feeling. One more time. That brings us to the end. It's always good at this point, then just kind of stand. Once again, you can have one hand over the abdomen. You could just be standing. The idea is then, we just finished the flow. So still bask in that feeling. As you begin to move, I tend to, as we talked about in some of the 6 gates meditation, I tend to put my mind more in my intention, more towards my heart. Heart and mind work together. As I feel that my attention is kind of more in my heart and my forehead, the best way I can describe it, just feel it, bask in that a little bit. Now you move into your day, and as you move from your core, move with energy in your lower dantian. Remember, pay attention onto your heart chakra. These are just energy areas in the body. So this one was a little bit of a different flow. And the first one that I taught you all was very introduction. And then, hello, this is Jesse. Yeah, I remember Jesse. Baby girl, we're still on. So questions?
No, this is great, Renshi. I felt a lot of tension in my shoulders and in my arms, but I felt that as we went through the exercises, they were all being removed, which is good. I did have a question on this exercise. I guess I kept thinking about our combative flow. And then me and PJ do this a lot when we're sparring in class, but it kept driving me back to being combative.
Right.
When we did this, and I just felt I felt the tension. I couldn't get rid of the tension from here to here because one of our combative moves when we do that.
Right.
So how do you get your mind out of that?
It is, and it's just paying attention more to your body. And when you feel those thoughts come up, don't reprimand yourself for doing them. Just kind of go, what I do is I go, thinking, let it go. Okay. All right. So I may, at times I'll go and, I'm analyzing, I'm acknowledging what I'm doing, and I remind myself just to let it go.
Okay. Thank you.
During my meditation, when I would do that, then a lot of times what I would do, because it's the monkey mind, and all there's associative memory responses. We move this way. Okay, well, that's what we do on our martial side of things. Same thing as we're going here.
Yes.
We have a whole lot of things we do on the martial side that's here, right?
Right.
Whether it comes from Bagua, Xingyi, Jiu-Jitsu, our 5th series, all that. If you find yourself feeling that energy for right now, I just want you to rechannel that and just think peace and just think energy. No application to it. Just think, I'm moving.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just feel my body without adding any extra tension to it. I'm not taking any away. I just want to feel it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It will have benefit in our martial practice, but that's one of the applications, one of the benefits. Obviously, we're just looking at now becoming first aware in our body for how it moves, and then learning how to use our intent to harness that energy and to harness our state of mind, which is part of what this does. The longer you stay into this centered state, then the easier it is to take that deep breath when we're out into the world doing our life
Yes, sir.
and get back into that centered state. Doesn't have to be full meditative, but it's more centered, which keeps you more balanced, more calm, more peaceful.
Thank you. This is great. Thank you.
Well, very good. Well,
Thank you, Renshi. Thanks for your time.
absolutely.
This is really good, buddy. Just so I've put my 2 cents worth, just like Miguel said, some of the standing poses, I'm not sure whether it causes tension, in my forearms.
Mhm.
It may be that, it's the tendons, and I'm confusing that with muscle tension. I don't know. And I do feel, and I think I've told you this before, in some of the movements, I feel tingling, particularly in the tip of my fingers,
Yes.
and believe it or not, the sole of my feet.
And you mentioned that. Yes.
Yeah, and so, but I find this very, very relaxing, buddy. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Continue with it. What's interesting is, a lot of the meridians we have terminate, and at the ends of our fingers. One way we use to kind of wake up the meridians is rubbing our fingernails together. But especially that spot in the sole of your feet, then that's a huge, this kidney one, that's a huge acupressure point and energy point. Same thing, of course, with the palms as well. But once again, this builds. So you just kind of acknowledge, oh, I feel this. And, you don't just acknowledge it, enjoy it, stay with it. Don't become attached to it. If it changes, let it change. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's the fun with this, is that it begins to build, and you begin to feel more about your body as you stand more in your energy. Because what you're doing now is just feeling this with energy. When I'm standing in that Zhangshuan, standing like a tree, initially, if I carry a lot of stress through my shoulders and traps, I'm going to feel that. I will tend, because when I first started doing this years ago, I felt like, sometimes I was like this, and I lose my neck. I just felt like everything was drying up. So extend the crown of your head towards the sky. Tuck your tailbone in a little bit. So I want to think I'm lengthening my spine. I will mentally, with my intent, move my shoulders down. I will lengthen my neck a little bit. And then as I take those breaths, especially if I'm feeling this tension, I imagine I'm just leading my energy, but I'm leading my joints, say my shoulder joints to just extend a little bit. Obviously, we're not talking about major extensions, but I'm kind of stretching from my shoulders to my elbows, stretching a little bit. And that's not tension. It's just more mental, relaxing, stretching and relaxing from elbows to wrists. Same thing with fingers. As you center with that and breathe, in this case, breathe in, breathe out, as if I'm extending through my shoulders, my neck, my shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers. Then they'll begin to relax. And then you'll, initially when I first started this, like any of my meditations, 5 minutes seemed like an eternity. And then, 15. A lot of times we're doing like the Xingyi and Songti, they'll sit for a while. But if you need to adjust, sometimes, I work with shoulder issues, then I'll just drop my elbows down a little bit. But the more that I can bring them up, so I have this shape, the better. Did that answer or address?
Yes, yes, it does. One last question before we let you go. Does time of day matters? Do you do that when you first wake up? Can you do it before you go to bed, or what is the timing of this, or does it matter?
The answer is yes. You can do it whenever you want. There are benefits to starting your day this way. There are some times when, like with the work I was doing up here, I had to be at work fairly early, so I wouldn't necessarily have a lot of time given the schedule. So I would have a little bit of meditation, usually, about 10, 15 minutes. And then at lunch, after I would get something quick to eat, and I went and I found a little private place, and I could do my Qigong there. I do it in the evenings. I tend to do a lot of this in the evenings. There are benefits doing it first thing in the morning, and depending upon how deep you want to go with bringing in the day. A lot of that, to me, there's validity in it. It also are just anchors. So the easy question is, you can do this any time of day that you wish. You find the one that suits you, your personality, your schedule. Same with a meditation. There are times when, I will sit and I'll have like 2 smaller meditations in a day. Other times, I may have a much longer meditation, when I'm just sitting there for 40 minutes, an hour, when usually during like a work day, I might get 15 minutes each time. So, okay.
Excellent. Thank you again.
You are most welcome.
Thank you so much. This is great.
All right.
All right.
We'll see y'all.